Halacha Yud Aleph. V'tzarich sheyagia hacharitz shel tefilin shel rosh ad makom hatefer. The head tefillin, the difference between the compartments, that line in between the compartments, needs to reach all the way down to where it gets sewn. And if this indentation is recognizable to the point where you can see that there's four heads, everybody can recognize that there's four. Even if this does not reach all the way down to where it gets sewn, ksheros, these are still kosher. And if the charitz is not recognizable, so this is a puzzle tefillin. And you have to put between each one of these spaces in between the compartments a string or the like, lahavdil bin bais l'bais, to make a distinction between each house. Now, where this string is, there's a little bit of discussion, whether it's inside the house or outside. And the simple custom is to put a sinew between each one of these houses. All three open spots that differentiate the four houses. Okay. Kesef Mishna Yud Aleph v'tzarich sheyagia charitz v'chulu v'im ein charitz nikar psulos. And then if you don't have this charitz, this opening, they are puzzle braisa b'perek hakometz menachos lamed aleph mud beis because v'aref Hilchos Tefilin, and the Rif writes this as well in his Hilchos Tefilin, v'shavin shenosin meshicha v'chud ben kol echad ve'echad, and they're equal in that they have this string between each one of these compartments. And if you cannot recognize the difference in these openings between the compartments, so they are puzzled. And this, that it says the opening has to reach all the way down to the place where it gets sewn. Sham daf Limudei, that's also menachos. Amar Abaye tzarich ani tzarich sheyagia charitz l'makom hatefer. So it says, Abaye says clearly there that the opening has to reach the place of where it gets sewn. Rav Dimi Amar Kivin the minkar tulo tzarich, and Rav Dimi says that once you can recognize it as separate, you don't need to do anything more. Rashi says v'tzarich sheyagia charitz shebein bais l'bais, that you have to have the opening between each and every house, each in every compartment. Ad makom hatefer lamata, to the place of its sewing below. The kolomar, that is to say, ad beis moshava. What is the makom hatefer? What is this place of the sewing? That's the place where it sits, the place where the moshav is, the bottom. The hainu titura, that is where the titura is. It has to reach down to the titura. Oh, so the Rosh says, what is the charitz? Because the charitz means it can also mean something you scratch out. It's like a valley. The charitz, well, he says it refers to the bottom of the shin, that part that pokes out on the bottom of the shin. chuda shel shin. That's the charitz. That because it also implies a line, a thin line, charitz. A sharp, something thin. Like even when you yell, it's as techeratz. It's a sharp call. So the charitz then is the chuda shel shin lamata according to the Rosh. So that's chuda shel shin lamata yagiad ichoy tefer. The charitz of the shin needs to reach all the way down to the bottom of the Torah. So according to the Rosh, it doesn't have to do with the compartments and the opening between the compartments. It has to do with the shin, that the bottom of the shin needs to reach down. At ichoy hatefer, or kapirish zenira. And so the Kesef Mishna says that he likes that pirush. V'nagu geshnei pirushim. The minhag is like both pirushim. That the bottom of the shin and also the line that delineates the compartments ad tefira until the bottom where there's the tefira l'chumra to be machmir. Abaya like the opinion of Abaya udlok ravdimi and not like ravdimi. That's the end of the quote. Oh, so that's actually that's all the Rosh. So it's not the Kesef Mishna who has this who prefers the perush of the charetz of the shin. Rather, it's the Rosh that brings both opinions, and he says that one seems better to him, the one where that it's the bottom of the shin. So he's quoting the Rosh. And this that the Rambam says. Now back to the Kesef Mishnah, his own words. So this that the Rambam writes that if it did not reach the bottom where it was sewn, kasher v'hushi nikara charitz, as long as you can recognize the that thin opening, the delineation between the compartments. So, time when the Tanya behakomets, says. So, where does he learn this from? Because it says in Hakomets that if you cannot recognize the delineation, the charitz, the lines between the houses, mashman the kosher nikar kosher. So that implies that if you can recognize it, it is kosher. B'chol gavni in any way. Kosher b'chol gavni. V'im kain ki amar Abaya tzarich sheyagiach charitz l'makom hatefer. So if this that Abaya says that the charitz needs to reach the place of the tefer, the mitzvah. Amar Kain. He's saying this to be that this is the best way to do it. If you want to do the mitzvah properly. Lola Akev, not to be Ma'akev, because it already says that as long as you can recognize the distinction between the houses, so it doesn't have so it's kosher. Even though the Mordechai wasn't clear, maybe Abaya was being machmir and not holding like that statement. According to the Rambam, it's simple that he holds like this. How do you make the straps? You take a you take a strap of leather, and that's as wide as a barley grain, a grain of barley. That's the measure. And if it's wider than that, that's also kosher. And the length of the tefillin of the straps of the tefillin shel rosh is in order so that it should wrap around the head V'yikshur mimena hakesher, and tie the knot in the back. V'timtach shtei retzuos mikan u'mikan, and also that you should be able to bring out then and downwards 2 straps from here and from there, from each side, ad sheyagiu letabor, until they reach the belly button, or lamayla mimenu me'at, or a little bit higher than that. V'orach etzur shel yad, and the length of the hand tefillin, kadei shetakif es hazroa, in order so that it should wrap around the muscle of the arm. V'ikshur mimena hakesher, and tie the knot. V'timtach retzua achas, and to have the strap stretch out. One strap stretch out. Al etzba emtzayis, upon the middle finger. You should reach all the way to the middle finger. And to wrap 3 times around the middle finger and tie it. So no going around the arm or anything like that. Just stretching it from where you made the knot on the tefillin all the way to the middle finger, wrapping 3 times and then tying it. And if they were longer than that, so these are certainly kosher. Okay, in the Kesef Mishna, halach yud beis, rachavak orach haseora needs to be the measure of the width should be a barley. Kein kasav harif zal, that's according to the rif. V'orach ritzua shel rosh, and the length of the head strap, kadei shetakif es harosh, in order so that it should surround the head. V'sov perek hakomets, sham lamedei amud beis. That's also in hakomets Rabba, in Menachos. V'kama shiurai, what's their measure? Amar Reish Lakish, ad etz patzreda. Reish Lakish says until the width of the pinky finger. Rav Kahana Mechavi Kafuf. Rav Kahana says a Michui Kafuf, Rav Ashi Michui Pashut. I'm not sure what Michui Kafuf and Michui Pashut are, but Michui is like I guess when you go like this with your finger, or maybe when you stretch out your finger, or when you bend it, something like that. Rabba katiluhu upashit. So Rabba, he tied it and stretched it out. Shadiluhu Rav Acha bar Yaakov. And he sent it. Upashit shadiluhu, and then he stretched it out and sent it. Rav Acha bar Yaakov katale umatlislay. So Rav Acha bar Yaakov, he would tie it, and then it's talking about now the straps as they come down, and hang the straps down. Oh, so maybe you have Kahana's talking about he would stretch out the strap as it's wrapped around, and Rav Ashi said that the measure is that if you can as long as you stretch it out from the beginning to the end without wrapping anything, that's also the measure. All right. Anyways, however you want to describe these different opinions of the tefillin straps. right, so all these opinions are at about the length of the strap and not the width. That Rav Kahana says that you have to wrap it around all the way, and the Rav Ashi says you just stretch it. It seems they're talking about the hand tefillin. He would tie it and simply bring it down and send it. Acha Bar Yaakov, he would tie it and hang it. I don't know what the difference between shadi lahu and matlis lahu is, to send it or to hang it. At any rate, so the Rambam explains this idea of etzbet tzreda, etzba emtsai, the middle finger. What is so it's not the pinky, like I thought. So etzbet tzreda, according to this, is the middle finger, that you have to stretch the hand tefillin all the way to the middle finger, but it's shel yad mighty, and he's talking about the hand tefillin. V'kater lei, and he's tying it umatlis lei, and to tie it into to hang it hainu kesher be'emsa. That's the knot in the middle. Be'emsa tzreda. That's to tie it in the middle of the middle finger. That's how the Rambam explains kater lei umatlis lei, that you tie it and hang it. Umatlis perus kosher saviv etzbo. So matlis lei doesn't mean to hang it. It means you tie it, and then you tie it again around the finger. That's matlis lei. That's what it means, is to wrap it around the middle finger. It's called matlis lei according to the Rambam. Gimel pamim 3 times. V'raba kati luhu pashi shadi luhu. And so what does that mean according to the Rambam? Ritzua shel rosh. So that's talking about the head tefillin. V'katilu, and tying it, and that is that he tied it, that he surrounded the head and he tied the knot. And the other mitzvos, he would pashit shadi. What does that mean? That he would stretch them out and send them that they should be hanging in front of him. And this, that the Rambam says that they have to reach the belly button. He had some kind of Kabbalah on this that he had received, because there's no apparent source. Kesef shel yamin ad tabor v'shel small ad chazeh. And the Torah writes that the right one has to reach the belly button and the left one has to reach the chest. And there's those that say that the right side should reach the milah, shall small ad tabor, and the left side should reach the belly button.